Good morning, County Council. I would like to call to order this council meeting of May 22nd, 2025. And at this point in time, for all those who are able, please join by standing and in the singing of O Canada.
O Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, could you please proceed with the roll call?
Councillor Mackey, Councillor McKay, Councillor Carlton, Councillor Pringle, Councillor McQueen, Councillor Nielsen, Councillor Patterson, Councillor Dickert, Councillor Kentner, Councillor Keaveney, Councillor Body sends his regrets today, Councillor Kepke, Councillor Gregg, Councillor Milne, Councillor Dobreen, Warden Matrosovs, Councillor Bourdignon,
Present.
Councillor Eccles, Councillor Hutchinson.
Present.
We have all members in attendance today with the exception of Councillor Body.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Let us begin by respectfully acknowledging that we are gathering on the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe Nation, the people of the Three Fires, known as the Ojibwe, Odawa, and Potawatomi nations. And further, we give thanks to the Chippewas of Saugeen and the Chippewas of Nawash, known collectively as the Saugeen Ojibwe Nation, the traditional keepers of these lands and waters since time immemorial. In the south of our county lies the traditional territories of the Six Nations of the Grand River, Haudenosaunee. We are dedicated to honoring Indigenous history and culture and committed to moving forward in the spirit of truth, reconciliation, and friendship with all First Nations, Métis, and Inuit peoples. At this point in time, I'd like to put out a call for any declarations of interest. Seeing none, then we'll proceed on to the adoption of the minutes. It's item 6A, it's recommended that the minutes of the County Council meeting and the Committee of the Whole meeting dated May 8th, 2025, and the resolutions contained therein be adopted as presented. Moved by Deputy Warden Milne, seconded by Councillor Nielsen. Any discussion? All those in favor? And that motion is carried. Item 6B, it's recommended that the closed session minutes of the Committee of the Whole meeting minutes dated May 8th, 2025 be adopted as provided. May I ask for a motion by Councillor Keaveney and seconded by Councillor Patterson. Any discussion? All those in favor? And that motion is carried. We don't have any closed meeting matters in council this morning, nor reports. That allows us to move on to the bylaws. The recommendation is that bylaw 523325 and 523525 be introduced and be taken as read a first, second, and third time, finally passed, signed by the warden of the clerk, the warden and the clerk, sealed with the seal of the corporation and engrossed in the bylaw book. Number 1, 523325, a bylaw to adopt the official plan amendment 24. 523425, a bylaw to authorize the acquisition of certain lands in the town of Hanover as described in Schedule A for an early on center, and 523525, a bylaw to confirm all actions and proceedings of the council. May I ask for a mover? Moved by Councillor Mackey, seconded by Councillor Dickert. Any discussion? All those in favor? And those are carried. News and celebrations. Well, we have a number of items coming from our CAO. CAO Schertzer, we'll start with you.
Great, thank you, Warden Mattress. First, I would like to welcome Niall. Niall's this is his first meeting with us. Niall Lobley, of course, is former CAO at Georgian Bluffs. This is day 3 for Niall as the county's new deputy CAO, and I couldn't be more pleased to have Niall join the senior management team. Niall brings a wealth of experience in municipal leadership, operations, and community engagement. And noted as that he was the CAO for Township of Georgian Bluffs. He has demonstrated a deep commitment to strategic planning, effective team building, and delivering high quality services to residents. In addition to Georgian Bluffs, Niall's career has included leadership roles at the City of Kitchener, as well as Conservation Halton. Niall and I will be working with each of the departments over the next few months. We'll also be touring around various county buildings and facilities to meet as many staff as possible. We've already started doing that this week, and it's been great so far. So again, just welcome Niall to the Grey County team. And so I have a few more good news and celebrations. So there's 2 celebratory weeks happening this week. First is the National Public Works Week. This week is, with that, I just want to take a moment just to recognize the incredible work of our Grey County Transportation Services staff. Every day they keep our communities connected, maintaining over 880 kilometers of roads, 192 bridges. It's not easy work. But they do it with such dedication, professionalism, and pride. Whether it's snow removal, like we had with this past winter, emergency road repairs after a storm, or planning and designing infrastructure improvements, their efforts keep Grey County safe, accessible, and moving forward. They are truly the backbone of our community, and they may not always be in the spotlight, but their impact is felt by every resident and visitor who travels our roads. So thank you, Pat, and your transportation services team for your commitment and your hard work and your service. We truly appreciate it. This week is also Paramedic Services Week, and the theme this year is We Care for Everyone. And Niall and I were fortunate enough to join Chief McNabb and his paramedic services staff yesterday to help celebrate Paramedic Services Week, and to see a number of our paramedic services accept awards, including some receiving 15, 20, 30, and even 40-year service awards, which is just absolutely incredible. Whether responding to emergencies at a moment's notice or providing proactive care throughout the community paramedicine program, the work that our paramedics perform saves lives and improves the well-being of our residents every single day. Our paramedics bring not only skill and professionalism, but also compassion and calm during some of life's most challenging moments. So again, thank you, Chief McNabb and your paramedic services team, for your tireless services, as well as your unwavering commitment to community care. Truly appreciate it. Today, our Provincial Offences Court team is also hosting students from across our region. So you may have seen some students actually out in the hall this morning, and they're taking part in some mock court trials. And these mock trials are being held by the Ontario Bar Association in partnership with the Ontario Justice Education Network. And there's a network of competitions of students across the province that are happening. And so we're lucky enough to be able to host one of those sites today. So there's 3 area schools competing this year, being St. Mary's, Grey Highlands, and Saugeen District. So there's 2 mock court cases that are happening as we speak, and each student will play a role in those mock trials. So students are able to work with lawyers from the area also to help prepare for these trials, and there's actual judges that will be judging the cases as well. So I want to thank Amanda Kokas and her POA team for hosting these mock trials. And if you get a chance after today's council meeting, feel free to pop by and and peek in and see how the mock trials are going. So thanks for Min and her team for hosting those. That's all I have at the moment.
Well, that's not all. That's quite significant news that you have. All right. So perhaps then I'll move on to, let me open it to the floor first for all of the county council news and celebrations to share. I would like to spend a little bit of time just sharing a little bit of news from the Great Lakes and St. Lawrence Cities Initiative Conference, which I attended last week. So I'll wait to the end of that and put it out there if there are news and celebrations from our county council colleagues. We'll begin with Councillor Keaveney.
Thank you very much, Warden Matrosovs, and good morning, everyone. And that's a great segue because I wanted to congratulate you on your recent appointment to the Board of Directors at the conference in Milwaukee to the Great Lakes St. Lawrence Cities Initiative. So congratulations to you. I know you will bring a very strong voice to that board representing our community. And I had another announcement, if I may, Warden. On behalf of the municipality of Meaford, we're really excited that on June the 14th, we're going to have a ribbon cutting ceremony at our new bridge. And you've all heard me talk about bridges 21 and 22. Well, the project is now completed, and we would invite anybody who wishes to attend to join us on the 14th of June. And it's just an opportunity to see sort of an alternative type of bridge construction that's worked out really, really well. Thank you.
Thank you. And with that, we'll go to Councillor Dickert next.
Thank you, Warden Matrosovs. I just wanted to recognize and congratulate the Hanover Barons on winning the Schmaltz Cup this year. Second time that they've been able to do that in the club history, and it truly is a team made up from across the area. So it's not just a Hanover team, but they've made us proud. And we will have a hockey celebration day on May 31st to recognize that achievement. And for Deputy Warden Milne, just want to say this is what happens if you get past round 2. So thank you.
Thank you. I'll on that note, we'll move over to Councillor Carleton, if you'd like to step in before the deputy warden has something to say.
Thank you, Warden Matrosovs. I actually have 2 this morning. On May 31st, Georgian Bluffs is hosting a planting bee at the municipal office, and that's from 9 to 1. There will be lunch provided for anybody that wants to register and come out and help with creating a pollinator garden and all that encompasses. And this summer at Shallow Lake Community Center, because the Bayshore Community Center in Owen Sound is undergoing renovations, the Owen Sound Attack will be playing out of Shallow Lake. So that will be starting through late August and early September. And there's going to be early morning practices to evening training sessions, and the Attack will be using our ice dressing rooms and meeting spaces as they prepare for the 2025-2026 OHL season. And there's going to be some preseason camps that are open to the public, and we encourage everybody to come out and join. And I should have added on the planting bee, we're also doing the Pride flag raising ceremony that day as well. That's it.
Thank you. And looking on the screen, looking around the room, we'll go to Councillor McQueen next.
Thank you, Madam Warden. I guess my question is, what are you planting? You don't need to say. Thank you, Madam Warden and County Council. I just want to remind everybody that this weekend is the Ram Rodeo in Beersham, Saturday and Sunday, the 24th, 25th. Please pray for sunshine. We need it. And again, just a reminder, we've made $150,000 in the last 4 years toward the Markdale Hospital Foundation. And also on June 11th, we have an age-friendly Grey Highlands Senior Health Fair at the Kimplex on June 11th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. So if I can leave these with you, just to remind everybody about that. Now I see there's a golf tournament here. This is the works. You're going to talk about that, right? So anyway, I just if you're able to come out and enjoy yourself. If you buy your tickets online for the rodeos, you can save $10. So, and then there's going to be an evening event and cowboy breakfast as well. The Kinsmen are also involved with that as well. So I know Mr. Eccles is going to be busy on the Friday night. I think it is with the lobster fest. Saturday night. Okay, so maybe in between that you can slip over too. So thank you.
Thank you very much. And I'll look around then for other news. We'll go to Councillor Nielsen.
Thank you very much, Warden Matrosov. Like yourself, I had the privilege of attending an outside conference. Yesterday, Tuesday and Wednesday, I was attending the Canada Vote Summit in Montreal. It's put on by the Democratic Exchange. And it was bringing kind of democracy in general, not just municipal, like the AMO Healthy Democracy Program. But there was conversations around USAID's lack of funding towards democracy projects and how Canada can step up in that space. There was the mayor, France from Gatineau, Quebec, who had resigned during this term of council. There's discussions that over 800 municipal leaders have resigned in the province of Quebec this term of council alone, showcasing kind of the challenges that Democratic and municipal leaders are facing across the board, be it incivility and challenges of cohesion at the council table. It was, again, kind of remarkable to hear all the kind of conversations that were happening. And I'm hoping to share with some of my colleagues today over lunch some of the interesting things I learned and was discussed. So just wanted to share that.
Thank you very much. And indeed, a number of our members of the Great Lakes Initiative were not at the AGM because of the meetings that they were having in the province. So I'm so glad that you're there finding out more about what's happening right across beyond our Ontario boundaries. Thank you. And any other news and celebrations? Okay, well then I'll just try to keep it concise. There are 4 resolutions that I just wanted to briefly highlight that were the result of the Great Lakes and St. Lawrence Cities Initiative AGM and meeting, which happened in Milwaukee last week. So each year there's a rotation where it's always in Ontario, then in Quebec, and then into the States. So long before the changes that happened in the White House, this conference was planned for Milwaukee. Next year it will be in Hamilton. It will be much closer. So that's good news for all of our Ontario members. But it was crucial to be there. I can think very carefully about the relief that our counterparts, our American mayors and First Nations tribal leaders acknowledged that we had come across the border to speak in unity with them and to be able to talk about how the impacts are, how the terrorists are impacting us on both sides. They are on the same page as us. They are struggling like we are, and they are grateful that we have these multinational organizations to continue to advocate. And that's why it was so important that our voice was there. And I must say, it did move me to be standing and singing "O Canada" in Milwaukee. So with that, there were some key resolutions that came from the business that we did, the work that we did. One of them was advancing the Great Lakes and St. Lawrence strong response to the US-Canada trade war. And we did declare we are now 325 members. So a few years ago, it was under 100, and now it's 325 members. We now have shifted our terminology from binational to multinational because we recognize the First Nations on the Canadian side and the tribal nations on the American side that have been joining us as well. And so it's very key that when we speak in Washington and when we speak in Ottawa, they are listening, because we are representing 84% of the freshwater of all of North America when we are talking about the Great Lakes and St. Lawrence basins. So how crucial that is to all of our communities and our countries. So we did identify that we do oppose the U.S. blanket tariffs and stand with the affected communities, businesses, First Nations, and tribes, and that we urge our states and our provincial governments to take swift action to protect jobs and regional trade, and that we look to our federal governments in both countries to offer relief measures to affected communities and economies, and that we should continue to collaborate as we have been doing for over 20 years in order to have a consolidated single voice in response to these stresses that all of our communities are facing. We also reaffirmed the support for the Great Lakes Water Quality Agreement. This is an agreement that we've had, so we wanted to reaffirm that we support that and its roles in the transboundary water management. And that the Canada and U.S. federal government should remain committed to this agreement and uphold its binational governance framework, and that both countries should continue to collaborative efforts to restore the water quality and address legacy pollution, new contaminants, and climate impacts. And that's certainly one of the reasons why the initiative was first created, is, as we always say, the fish have no passports. So what happens in those waters, it doesn't recognize that boundary that's drawn between the two of us. And a third one is in relation to that is also the Great Lakes Compact, that we wanted to make sure that we reaffirm that we uphold that Great Lakes Compact. So we reaffirm our full support for the agreement and compact, especially on the ban of out of basin diversions, because that has been the topic of conversation to the south of the border. And we want to make sure that we are maintaining a loud, clear, unified voice on the impact that that would create for our Great Lakes. And that we urge our governors of the 8 Great Lakes and states and the premiers of Ontario and Quebec to uphold and implement these agreements, and that we will stand there beside them in order to do that, and that the city's initiatives and members will promote sustainable water use through our action plans. And the final one, there were a number of them, but the final one that I did also want to highlight, which overlaps into the commission, the Mayor's Commission on water equity. It's now been renamed Water Access, although equity is still a big part of it, but we've expanded it to really fully encompass the needs of our infrastructure for our communities across our nations. But in addition to that, we have now resolved that we will create a committee on First Nation and tribal engagement to identify joint priorities and foster collaboration. And it's not just a committee on First Nation and tribal engagement, it's with its members. Its membership will be our chiefs from both sides of the border. So that's a very key input in terms of what we look at in terms of water access, to make sure that each and every one of our communities, our own municipalities, and what the communities that the chiefs look after have that equal access to infrastructure funding, to make sure that we all have access to water. And with that, I can say thank you very much, Councillor Keaveney, for recognizing the shift in my role. And so I have already been doing some leadership roles within Ontario, but now I will take on I will be one of 20 members on the board. And I can tell you that our nearest board neighbor is actually Chief Linda Dubosque of Manitoulin Island, who is on the board as well. And her communities represent 65,000 people right across 11 different First Nations. So we're there. And also Georgian Bay is also well represented on the other side too, because one of the other board members is Reeve Leverance of the Archipelago. So we are present. Georgian Bay is present, and we are 20 members representing right across Canada and the States to represent the 325 members growing. And in addition to the AGM next year in Hamilton, in November, there'll be one closer in Halton, which will be a similar regional day to the one that many of you attended when I hosted one over at the town of Blue Mountains. So there's lots of good reasons to find out more about what we do and to stay active in between these AGM meetings. Okay, so with that then, I'll just look for a motion to adjourn. Got it by Councillor DeBreen and seconded by Councillor Nielsen. All those in favor? And that motion is carried. I'll just take a moment to switch to Committee of the Whole.